news. This is Touchdown Live in the Huddle, sponsored by your Tri-State Ford.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another week, another episode of Touchdown Live in the Huddle. And we've got the fonts ready today.
Let's go.
We've got the buttons all clicked.
Yes.
I'm very pleased with ourselves, Aaron.
That's right. We know how to
ready.
button push.
We do. We do know how to button push, and that'll bring us right into, let's push a button and head right over to our weekly recap, sir. And this is going to be a week where we had some surprises, perhaps. It is, yes.
A little bit.
So
yeah,
let's
especially
check
the
it out.
second one
We'll
here.
go to our first one. This one, not necessarily a surprise, but it was when you take a look at how the game was going here.
Yeah.
This is going to be Mater Dei Memorial. And wow, Mater Dei really was starting to take control of this one before Memorial drove down and scored 2 touchdowns in the final 56 seconds of the game, Aaron.
Yes, and obviously they had to get an onside kick to make that happen, and they did. But what a drive. The first drive was, I think, a fairly long drive of 80 yards or so. They get the touchdown to make it 21-14. Of course, there's like 50 seconds to go. What are you going to do? You got to go for the onside kick. They get it. Short field. But then still Luke Brown and company, gutty. They drive down to tie it. And then, of course, it goes overtime. They've got all the momentum. Yeah. They take the ball first after the toss, and they score right away.
Yeah.
And then somehow hold Caden Thacker out of the end zone from the 1. That's not an easy thing to do, but they did it.
Yeah, not easy whatsoever, but they called their number, they scored, and they got the stop. So a fantastic game for them. Now, another big one here was Madisonville North Hopkins hosting one of the top teams, not just in class, in all of Kentucky, really, is one of the best teams in Paducah-Tillman. Yeah. And I mean, these guys were firing on all cylinders. Marquez Hightower got things going with a statement run, and then the Maroons would score on that drive, and then they would go on to finish the game out with a narrow 25-22 win to stay undefeated. Madisonville just proving that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely. And wasn't Tillman the defending state champs?
They are, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, anytime you're beating the defending state champs who were undefeated themselves and ranked in the top 10 in their class, I mean, that is a amazing win for Madisonville.
Yeah, and I'd have to look back, but I know it was the first regular season loss in a long time. I don't remember if it was 2019 or I believe it was 2019 the last time. That doesn't sound right. Let's just go with it was a long time. It was a long time since the last time that Paducah-Tillman lost in the regular season. So a big-time statement win by Madisonville to take that game. Yes. We'll go to our next one here. Owensboro and Owensboro Catholic, always a great rivalry. And in this one, Owensboro Catholic started off the season very strong with a big win against Bowling Green. Jermail Carruthers right there, a big reason why. Owensboro, on the other hand, they just had their one win against Davis County, and they were searching for a momentum shift, and boy, did they get it.
Yeah, now granted, they had Murderers Row to start the season playing Louisville St. X and then Louisville Christian Academy, so that's not easy. And unfortunately for them, they lost both those games. Then they, beat up on Davis County, but you didn't know what was going to happen. You never know what's going to happen in this matchup. It's one of those kind of like Wright's Mater Dei. You just throw the records out the window. It doesn't matter. And, man, what a statement win for Owensboro. That's got to give them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, they really delivered, and you started asking questions about, I know you and I had talked a little bit about after the first 2 games for Owensboro, they were a team that was not just losing, but they were losing pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it was pretty strong opponents, and then they go out against Davis County and get the win. But, I mean, this is just really turns the season around for them, and I imagine will inject a lot of confidence in that Red Devil squad.
Yes.
Let's go over and recap one more game we had. North Posey and Tell City. North Posey, the Vikings, a very young squad. Tell City, also a young squad after graduating those 2 big guys, the Terry twins that we talked about at length for what feels like the past forever.
Yeah.
The past 2 years, though, they were really making an impact on the field. They're graduated, so 2 teams with young squads, and the North Posey Vikings come out on top 38-21.
Yeah, and Tell City came in undefeated despite losing the guys they did, and as you said, North Posey young, they've looked really good despite the young guys. So this was kind of one of those games for the small school division that the winner of this very likely is going to end up being the champion of the PAC small school division. So, of course, we'll see what happens. Forest Park and others will have something to say about that. But, man, right now, you got to like the future for both of them, especially North Posey, the sophomore quarterback, I believe, and Dylan Murphy's a sophomore. And so
a lot of young talent.
Yeah.
Got a lot of young talent for the Vikings. All right, well, that will bring us over to our big plays of the week after our talk about the upsets and the recapping here. Let's go right over back to our plays of the week.
Yes.
And starting off with number 1, we've got Dylan Murphy with the helmet catch here. We'll jump ahead, and here it is. Dylan Murphy, right, that game we just talked about, just going back shoulder, and it looked like he just caught that right on the helmet of the Tell City defender. We'll slow it down just a little bit here to get a closer peek. And, man, just a great catch, very contested, very tight, but he gets the job done.
Yeah, and I remember back in week 1 against Southridge, he had a layout diving catch, and I was like, wow, who is this guy? He is good. And there he is again, making another circus catch.
Yep, certainly an asset going forward for North Posey. Number 2, another game we just talked about in Owensboro Catholic. Evan Hampton, I mean, we know this guy can do this. It's the reason he is such a highly ranked recruit and very touted going into college. But he's still making plays at the high school level, and boy, did he make a big-time play in a statement win over Owensboro Catholic here. Just breaking out a huge run, Aaron.
Yeah, nice moves there. Once he hits the open field, he turns on the gas en route to 200 and something yards rushing.
I think. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more in our Player of the Week nominees coming up. But before that, we've got 2 more top plays plus an honorable mention, of course.
Yes.
Let's go for now to top play number 3. Just a great catch. Again, this is kind of the week of crazy catches here. Going over to the sideline, just a beautiful snag by Cole McBride. We'll slow it down and zoom in a little bit here and just watch as this ball sails over, and he just extends behind his back shoulder even closer. He just barely gets a paw on it and just he corrals it with that one hand. That's all he needed. What a play by him. He
must have been studying the Odell Beckham rule of catches. Just stick that paw up in the air and make that snag. Well, that was amazing.
A beautiful catch for Cole McBride. And this will be our 4th play, a disappearing act by Lucas Byers. We'll zoom in here and pause it for a second after this. Can you tell me where Mr. Lucas Byers is here? I'm going to guess by the way you're laughing, you can't. It's that helmet. I'm not even going to try and explain it because he just pops out of nowhere.
He must have gotten really low.
Yeah, he's just stuck right behind that pile. So just a great play, and honestly, for the viewer, a fun play because it's like, well, I don't know where that guy went, but here he is, and he makes a big play.
And tricks the camera guy just beautifully.
He does. Now,
that was probably his whole purpose of doing that.
Yes, talking about trick plays. I like to have fun with these honorable mentions. Here's a bit of a trick. Uh-oh, I forgot to flip that. It's not there's no train. No train in this honorable mention. No choo-choo. We did those noises last week. Let's check this out. It's the fake out by the ref. So this is a play. Look at this. We got to draw it in closer here, and I'll do that in just a second. You can go ahead and clear that lower third out as we'll get a better look here. The ref, he really fakes it. He's grabbing for the flag, and then by the time the camera cuts back, he's got it back in his back pocket. He didn't need that, and then watch this. It's textbook, blows it dead, and he goes down, 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 because the punter was down.
Yeah, he had to reach down and get that low snap.
He did.
And his knee touched the ground. Of course, he knows it right there, like, oh, man.
Yep, right there.
And right in the high school rules, if you touch your knee down on a punt, if the punter touches his knee down on the punt, it's dead. Before you even kick the ball, it's like, well, all right.
So I just thought, why not give props to Mr. Referee, because just a great move. You thought he was going to pull out the flag, puts it back because he knows he doesn't need it. All he needs is the whistle and an emphatic point to the ground to signal that punter was, in fact, down. All right, that'll do it for our top plays of the week. And carry us over to another thing we do every single week.
Yes.
And it is our Player of the Week nominees. Now, we will take a look here at the nominees coming up, and boom. No, that's the ref. He's a great player, though, too, anyways. Here it is. Luke Brown, the first one of our nominees. He had a fantastic week. 3 touchdowns in there. He went 20 for 26 passing as well, so a great week for him. Again, another guy, Dylan Murphy. We had him in the top plays. Fantastic helmet catch there.
Yeah.
He had 3 touchdowns of his own. Now, nominee number 3, Peyton Gray. He had 2 touchdowns, plenty of catches, 6 catches out there as well. And let's call it a 7th catch in there too, because he had an interception.
Yeah,
that 7th
that was
catch
a tough
on
one.
defense. And then our 4th nominee, Evan Hampton, his best game of the week with 209 yards and plenty of touchdowns there as well, supporting that effort. But there can only be one winner, and the players or the folks out there have voted for their player of the week, and it is Mr. Luke Brown.
Yes.
He is our player of the week for week 4, and what a job by him just to go ahead and lead that Memorial offense all the way through, even when they got down a little bit.
Yeah.
They found their way. They navigated their way to that long, quick drive spurts. 56 seconds was all they needed to get 14 points and then take it to overtime, and they did, and they got a big win. So congratulations to him on a fantastic week.
Just a sophomore. He's really starting to come into his own already.
He sure is.
Showing a lot, leading back-to-back drives there. Must-have touchdowns.
Yes, he did. So he was huge there. And we will hear from him coming up later next week. We'll hear from last week's Player of the Week winner later tonight on 14 News at 10. That was actually, funny enough, another player from Memorial. We'll hear from Dylan Kendrick coming up later tonight on 14 News at 10. Before we go, let's take a glance at what's coming up this week in our slate. Aaron, you can go ahead and pull up that scoreboard, and we will squint and take a close look as much as we can at what we've got on the board here. Our game of the week is going to be Modern Day Jasper. That is where I will be tomorrow, going live at 4:35 and 6 right here on 14 News. And we will just take a peek and start to preview that matchup. 2 solid squads. Especially Jasper, got my eye on them after they came out in week 1, lost to Memorial by a large margin, and really have found a way to right the ship. What else are you looking at this week?
Well, this Gibson Southern Southridge matchup, that always raises eyebrows. Southridge is going to be hungry for a win after a 1-3 start. We're not used to seeing that up in Raider country, and Gibson Southern hoping to just keep their train rolling. They've been going good here lately. The Castle of Vincennes, that could be interesting. Vincennes Lincoln's pesky. They've given a lot of the teams tough games so far, and they've gotten some good wins as well. So, who knows with that? It's a tough road trip. An hour away going up 41 like that.
You never know. Maybe the highway is a little bumpy. You get tired, thrown off. You never know, and that's really the theme every week for us is you never know what you're going to see out there on the gridiron. But what we do know for sure is that we will have you covered for your highlights coming up tomorrow night on 14 News at 10. It will be another week. Now, week 5 of Touchdown Live. We will have another full slate of highlights for you. So, again, make sure to join me at 4:35 and 6 tomorrow. I'll be live for that Jasper Modern Day game. We'll preview that. And then you can check out 14 News at 10 for our 5th episode of Touchdown Live for the year. Plenty of highlights. And, as always, scores all evening long. The most up-to-date scores all across the tri-state is going to be on that 14news.com scores page as well. That'll do it for us for today. And thank you so much for joining another episode of Touchdown Live in the Huddle. We'll see you next time.